What is happening, YouTube? I hope you guys are well. We are right now in day 2 of my 10-day training block. Yesterday I had a nice 4.5k swim with some quality 50s in there. Really happy with the technical development there and the speed that it generates. Then I had a 30-minute run on a treadmill, aerobic work, nothing crazy, keeping the heart rate controlled in zone 2, not too high. And then lastly finishing off with a bit of an aerobic ride with some 30 seconds, a bit low cadence, high power. Today, day 2 of the block, the main session of the day, the key run will be the one we're doing right now. As you can see over there, there's the indoor running track. Still a lot of ice and snow here, but I like running on that track, I really love it. And we're gonna be mainly doing 6x400 meters. It's nothing intense yet. It's a 3:05 pace, nothing crazy again. We are at that kind of a high VO2 max pace, not going crazy with that, like a 85-90% effort. So it will be a 75-minute run in total, 6x400 as main set. Otherwise, we got a 3.2k easy and drills swim as well, and a 1 hour aerobic ride. That'll be the day. So here I've got my snacks for afterwards. First is a protein shake with 20 grams of protein and also carbs. Then a simple banana, potassium and also carbs for after. And then during mainly I have some sodium mix in here. 400 milligrams, it's not too hot here. And then 60 grams of carbs, nothing crazy. It's not Morton, it's just plain sugar. But for racing I'll for sure use Morton. Shoe wise, I got here the Invincibles, by far my favorite shoe on a long road for easy runs and long runs especially. This is the version 2, I'll get the 3s as well, I heard very good things about them. So this is my 3rd or 4th pair of those. Highly recommend Invincible from Nike. Then here for the speed part, a bit dirty now, I got the Zoom Fly 5, and they started out really hard and I thought, they're gonna soften. They did not actually, so for me I find them actually too hard. I like the version before a lot more, so I might change back to the Tempo ones, Nike Tempo, a bit more cushioning. I want softness first. As always, I'm gonna do a mobility warm-up routine. Most of you guys know it already, has been in other videos, but I have a new favorite I want to show you. Something I've been doing in the gym as well, and that really helped with ankle mobility for swimming and especially just for tight calves and everything. Basically what you do is kind of a deep squat, if you imagine like this. Best is if you hold yourself somewhere so you can balance yourself. And then what you do, so you just sit on there, you don't hold anything, like a deep sit. And then, this is by the way something I wouldn't do if you have meniscus issues or anything with the knee weird that feels uncomfortable. If it feels stiff, it's probably good for you. I'm not doing it with weights. Also in the gym, I'm not lifting squats until deep end. It's just for triathlon, not needed. So basically like this, deep squat, and then if you hold yourself like a squat rack or something is best, but by now ankle mobility is good. If you fall over like that, then you know your ankle mobility is horrible. So for example, I noticed on one side it's much more tight. So what I do, I kind of bring the knee in a bit gentle because I see my heel is lifting off. That means that either ankle joint is locked in that angle or the calf, whatever part of the calf muscle is too tight. So on this side I have nothing, and here I feel always a bit tight. So I open this one up. You basically do like a few reps forward and backward, you hold it a bit, come gently up especially, but never any discomfort because there is pressure on menisci and all those things. So if you had a super tough muscular and tendon load the day before, just be careful with those things, be a bit nicely warmed up, don't rush into it. But having full knee mobility is something, any mobility in any joint, something that, it's just very healthy. Otherwise you can wait for injury to happen. So without all the mobility at work, I can promise you I wouldn't be swimming the way I do, but the other pros don't have to know that. Alright, a little mobility session before done. Feel nice and free, everything is good. If I would find anything that is kind of really tight, I have to put in more work for that. Especially when you run fast and you have stuff like that, the risk of injury is of course higher. So the more restricted you are in some areas, the more, let's say, joint is blocked or something, that muscle that is around that area, or the muscles, they will work a lot harder just against the joint resistance than not having it. So Nice and mobile is good, everything activated. Now a 20-minute easy warm-up with some strides, and then we get into the 400s.
Three, two, one.
Here we go!
Over the Christmas time, I've also done a little research about how to adjust my system over the last years as well, when I did perform well. And there's some things also from a psychological level. I noticed, for example, a lot of built up frustration and also anger because of just past race results, not like at all in the range where I want to be. So a lot of passion involved in that. And I noticed, and this is a common thread with me over the last years, and it's just how I am, like either you're in the very high or very low. I'm very aware of that, and I always try to be in the middle. Don't go too high when it's going good, don't go too low when it's going bad. But on the other hand, this is a sign of my passion for the sport. And despite having really, in my view, shit performances, and there were even podiums in there and second places at the championship and age group, and but I get no satisfaction from the objective stuff. Same in the business world, I just really don't. It's more about my own journey, my own numbers. But when you have that frustration or anger about a certain thing, I think it's actually needed, because that, to be honest, drives change. So I think once I go out of a race or out of a scenario where I don't feel like, oh my god, this makes me really frustrated, like a strong emotion from it, it's probably a sign that my passion is dwindling and it's probably time to retire, to be honest. So so lastly, I want to say, when you have that frustration or something not going wrong, you're more likely in a situation where your body tells you, okay, you're tired, you should this and that, you're more likely to ignore it, because you're like, in your subconscious also, just you have it in there that, okay, more is better and all those things. So once you're aware of those things, you can fix them. And that drove me to a system, to something objective, not emotional, that I'm stopped when I should. Well, let's go, 6x400, and let's have fun. One done. Legs really good, really nice and controlled, which is what I want, but early days of the block. We're on track, feels really good. 2 done, 4 more to go. It's good. Heart rate just around threshold, so nothing too insane, but fun. One thing you gotta look out for in the second half of your hard intervals is that you look for form. It's the same as swimming. So when you're breathing really hard, breathing rate is up. Same in the pool. Like if you're breathing really hard, it's very hard to tense your core and breathe hard at the same time. So control your breathing and try to make sure, especially in swimming and running, but running, that your form stays good. You have your cues that work for you. For me, that's the chin back, keep the hip under you, keep the cadence, low back hip tension, just that you feel you're straight and you're aligned, although you're breathing harder. Really interesting how quick, breathing rate in anaerobic work, when you don't do it, how quickly you need to readjust to it. It's like new. So I haven't done it in 2 weeks. So yeah, 5 done, 1 more. Yeah, that was it already. 6x400. Nothing wild, but I feel for my body to start with, it's really good. Like a conservative approach. Nothing, balls to the walls. I'm gonna start chugging this one now, so the cups go in and then. Alright, got the session in the bank. I hope you guys are well. If you like this type of content and want to see more in my pro journey and want to see more what kind of training I do and what it leads to and results in racing, because I'll be sharing everything, every detail, also the data from the races, everything. So hit the sub button and I'll see you in next week's video. Ciao.